Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the CephCAST, our new series of podcasts affiliated with Ceph. Happy to be joined today once again by Marcel Hergarden, who was in the inaugural episode 1. Kelly Groff is also with us. She's kind of the executive producer, kind of content wrangler / brains of the operation, and also Chris Bloom. So Chris, Marcel, Kelly, thanks for joining. Today, we're going to go a little bit beyond what we talked about in the first episode and get into some more specifics around Ceph. A lot of people are still not terribly familiar with Ceph. It's kind of a new technology. Well, it is a new technology to IBM, although it's not new to the market. So we want to give people a little bit of a primer on what Ceph's about, and then talk more about what we're calling Ceph Easy. And hopefully you've had a chance to check out some of the Ceph Easy videos on the Shift Happens channel that Chris has put together, all around making Ceph less complicated and much easier to implement at scale. So Marcel, I'm going to kick it over to you to get us going, and we'll get right into the material. And I know you've got some visuals you want to share with us too, so take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Randy. I'll bring up a presentation deck to talk to these slides to give some more explanation here. Thank you very much. And indeed, I recommend the videos that Chris has created. We'll touch on it later. So in a few weeks, we will come with another new release of IBM Storage Ceph. And with that release, we as IBM are going to make Ceph more easy. Like the installation will be as simple as pressing just one button and get a complete Ceph cluster up and running. First of all, I would like to give, for the folks that are not yet familiar with Ceph, what are we talking about? What is it? IBM Storage Ceph is an enterprise-grade, distributed, universal, software-defined storage solution. So it's software, and it runs on x86 industry standard hardware service, and it will provide a unified storage system that will serve object storage, Amazon AWS S3 compatible object storage, block and file storage. The implementation, as already mentioned, is on industry standard hardware, and it's an open source solution. You can also have a look at Ceph at ceph.io for the upstream version. And this is something where we get a lot of questions on. So what's the difference between that upstream version of Ceph and what's about IBM Storage Ceph? So what are the differences, and why should I use IBM Storage Ceph instead of that upstream solution, which you can just go and download? So that's something that we would want to look into. So as mentioned, IBM Storage Ceph will make it way easier to get your IBM Storage Ceph cluster running. And you can start with just 3 nodes as a starting point, and then scale out to hundreds of nodes to really whatever you need in regards to capacity and performance. It can grow seamlessly. It's a software installation, and it's actually deployed as Linux containers, and that removes the need for maintaining software packages, dependencies, different versions to maintain. No, they're just Linux containers, and they will deploy, and you will have your system running. So that makes it faster and easier than a standard package deployment. And as already mentioned, it will be possible to install this from within a single command. And I already touched on ready nodes. And ready nodes, what does that mean? That will mean that we have validated hardware to run IBM Storage Ceph on. These servers are ready for immediate use, and you can just install Ceph on it on that easy way for use cases like data lakes, AI/ML, for active archive, backup purposes, and just like the normal use cases where you would use Ceph for, you can do that same with those ready nodes. They are running on industry standard server hardware, and they contain RHEL, which is Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and the IBM Storage Ceph software. And you will have one single point of contact to reach out to. There will be different options of choice. So you can start really small with 4 nodes, and then you can grow until 400 nodes with these ready nodes. And it's a N+1 scalability. That means after you started with those initial 4 nodes, you can add in additional capacity with a single node per time. If you want to, of course, you can do more, but you can upgrade with a single node. And that upgrade process of IBM Storage Ceph is also made very easy. So at some point there are upgrades and updates, and that process is really as simple as doing a firmware upgrade of a legacy system in a similar way. However, the main difference here is there is no downtime required. You can do it online while the cluster is in production and in use, and then you can upgrade and update. It will be done on a node-by-node base, and instead of hours and days, it can be done without any downtime. And that's also because of the container images which update and execute very quick and smoothly. So upgrades without any downtime. The last session, we already touched on the two utilities. So there is the CLI-based tool named CephADM, where you can install and do some day two operations in an easy and fast way. And there is also an option to do this by the UI dashboard. So the dashboard that IBM Storage Ceph provides, where you can do this really in an easy way. And Chris has excellent videos on the both, which we will list later on here in this video, so that you can have a look at how that works and how easy that is to do. So to summarize that whole easy process, you start with your industry standard x86 service, and it could also be the ready nodes, which we will provide in a short term from now. You start with at least 3 nodes. The ready nodes is that the minimum amount is 4. That is for a specific reason, but you could start with a real small amount of 3 nodes. And then you acquire the IBM Storage Ceph software. Alongside with that, you will get IBM Storage Insights that comes with IBM Storage Ceph, it's included. And then in step 3, you configure your buckets and access keys, parameters, etc. And then you configure your applications to connect against the IBM Storage Ceph cluster. And that's it to get you up and running. And then once the whole thing is running, then you can easily perform day 2 operations like setting up remote replica cluster locations or do other smart things. And that's all doable by CephADM, the CLI option, the command line option, or the UI dashboard in an easy way. The integration with applications is also really simple because we use standardized APIs, which are also consistent in upgrades and updates. There is a consistent in the APIs. There will be no changes. And those APIs are also fully compatible with Amazon AWS S3, for instance. And we have also things like STS, Secure Token Service, which also is compatible with what customers are used to in Amazon, for instance, AWS S3. So there is a huge fidelity in compatibility there. So that's an important takeaway here. And then with regards to community, there is an active development and innovation going on in the community, and IBM Storage Ceph benefits from that, of course, because in essence, it's the same software, but IBM adds on like enterprise grade functionality, making it easy to consume, easy to use, quality assurance, certified updates, and of course, 24/7 support services, which you will not have with the community edition. And that depends on whoever is available, but IBM offers this service like an enterprise service and makes it consumable for enterprises who need the stability of a solid release. And this is what IBM Storage Ceph actually delivers. It equals enterprise grade storage, and it leverages an open source development model. So this is where the connection is to community actually. So there's collaboration and innovation with the community, and downstream IBM Storage Ceph is the enterprise solution, where upstream is more like for folks to get familiar, to get to know the product. But if you need the enterprise support and the secure updates, etc., this is where IBM Storage Ceph will actually shine. So summary, it stands out as an easy to use distributed storage solution with a unified approach, file, block, and object storage, simplified management, and a lot of internal automation capabilities. So this is your enterprise option for IBM Storage Ceph. Then I finally would like to share some resources where you can go to get more information about this product. Of course, we have the IBM website where you can get more information about IBM Storage Ceph. There is also a link to the documentation, if you are interested how things work and how things are composed and how things actually are working out, then you can have a look at the documentation. On the left hand of the slide, there is the link to the Ceph easy demo videos that are created by my colleague Christopher Bloom. And with this short URL, http://easy.ceph.blue, you will get immediately to the channel to have a glimpse at those videos and what we have to offer, and to see for yourself how easy things are actually. On the right side of the screen, there are links to the community edition. This is the so-called free upstream edition. This doesn't have the support services. This doesn't have the services that IBM offers. For that, you will need the downstream version offered by IBM. So I hope this was useful. And with this, I'd like to conclude the presentation for today.
Marcel, that was awesome. Really, really good overview. I think it builds perfectly on the things we talked about in the first episode and really concise. I took a couple of notes. There's a couple things I wanted to just kind of emphasize. The first one is the whole fractional consumption capability. The fact that once you have a Ceph cluster, up and running, you can add nodes individually. You don't have to make a huge capital investment, right? So you can grow incrementally as your capacity requirements or performance requirements grow, which is great. So that has obvious kind of economic benefits. You don't have to go buy, huge amounts of capital hardware. You can do it in smaller, kind of bite-sized pieces, which is great. I think that really makes it a simplified consumption model for a lot of use cases and a lot of customers. That's awesome. The second thing is the whole sort of non-disruptive upgrade, always on, design ethos of Ceph. The fact that you can easily, zone in new nodes, you can do upgrades without affecting, operational workloads or things that are running at the time of it. So again, very, enterprise friendly, I guess, for lack of a better word. So great stuff. And Chris, I don't know if you want to kind of chime in. I know you've done a lot of work and we've produced some videos really highlighting the simplicity that now goes hand in hand with deployment of Ceph. You want to talk a little bit about that?
I've been using Ceph now for over 8 years. I remember the days when you had to go all in. It was very manual. You had to mangle around with CephX keys, and you had to manually link it up with OpenStack. Come with me on a journey where we discover how easy Ceph is these days. It's really remarkable what our developers have done. Building the Ceph ADM tool, for example, the Ceph orchestration command line. And we'll put the playlist up here. So if you're lazy, you can just click there, go there directly. Otherwise, you have the link that Marcel presented, easy.ceph.blue. I'm sure Randy will put it up as well in post-production.
Even if you're not lazy, you can still go there. Definitely still go there.
You can still do it. And for those lazy people like me, I've actually also did another link. It's docs.ceph.blue. You'll go to the documentation on the IBM website. So that's even easier than Marcel's link.
Awesome. Yeah. So guys, I said this during the first episode, you guys have done amazing work. For those people who don't know, I think everyone kind of knows by now, but these guys came aboard, came into IBM as of January 1st of this year from Red Hat. So we kind of lifted and migrated the data services business unit from Red Hat into IBM. And these guys absolutely hit the ground running, and they and their teams have done some just incredible work in a really short time frame. So, I think this is super exciting, as somebody who's been involved in storage in every form and fashion for, longer than I'd care to mention. This is real, legit, operationalized, enterprise-ready, hardened, bulletproof, software-defined storage, multi-protocol, fully aware, fully available, fully autonomous. This is amazing stuff. So I'm pretty enthusiastic about it. So guys, again, Kelly, thank you for putting this all together. Kelly, again, is like the sort of, magic behind the curtain who makes these things happen. So thank you. Marcel, Chris, thanks for joining. Thanks everybody for watching. If you have ideas for any future episodes, please let any or all of us know, and we'll make sure we get them on the production schedule. And again, another plug for the Shift Happens YouTube channel. Go check out the Ceph Easy playlist. So thanks everybody, and we'll talk again soon.